Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be concentrating on the theme of lust as it manifests itself across the collection of poems in the AQA collection called Love and Relationships. Our concentration is not on every single poem's linked to lust, but instead a few tentative links with a few key quotes to help you on your way, getting ready for an exam. So lust is defined as physical desire, sexual attraction, and can often hint at an air of desperation for the speaker who cares about it. The poems in the collection that consider this theme very obviously are Farmer's Bride by Charlotte Mew, Porphyria's Lover by Robert Browning, and Sing Song by Daljit Nagra. So let's begin with the Farmer's Bride by Charlotte Mew. So instantly, when we take this line from towards the end of the poem, "Alone, poor maid, 'tis but a stair betwixt us," we're instantly reminded that the speaker is trying to forge some sort of sympathy for his wife. Yet there's a more harrowing layer beneath that. Actually, he's reminding us as readers she remains a virgin, and that's the thing that drives his lust. We're aware straight away by the fact that he's so aware there's just the stairs between them because she's locked in the attic, that this speaker desires her. I think Mew presents lust here as predatory. We know that through the silencing of the woman in this dramatic monologue, her desires are irrelevant to the farmer. Instead, it's what he wants that drives this poem. And I think the symbolic lack of the female voice is very intentionally something that Mew does to highlight the way that women are ostracised in this time. Additionally, if we skip to the end lines of this poem, there's the frenzied repetition, which is really alarming, of the brown of her eyes, her hair, her hair. Phonetically, it bombards us. The reader is kind of taken in with the half rhyme of her hair. Additionally, the alliteration there of her. The tragedy for me isn't just in the sound, it's adding to the sense that the speaker is losing absolute control of his speech, of his thoughts. And our question as we end this dramatic monologue as readers is what could happen next. Our concern is on what may happen, because either outcome is tragic. And lust at this point seems like a tragic, unrequited desire that he has but she does not share in. Porphyria's Lover by Robert Browning presents an interesting array of lust-driven images. Not only does it tell the story of a woman strangled with her own hair by a psychotic lover, it's embedded within this imagery that the speaker is lust-driven. When he comments repeatedly on the woman's hair, we understand that this objectification is lust-driven. She's defined by her beauty. The speaker is enticed by lust, hence the repetition. Additionally, though, the smooth white shoulders conveys the innocence of Porphyria. Yellow and white, for me, are often associated with purity. So this seems ironic that Browning would use these images when ultimately the name Porphyria is a disease that can result in madness. I wonder what he's saying about the time that he's writing this poetry. So in Victorian Britain, sexuality was repressed. Desires like that were meant to be confined for marriage. So revealing so much flesh that you can see someone's smooth white shoulders would have been sinful, unacceptable, and frankly, a Victorian reader may have been damning in their view of the woman. The structural feature that is repetition of "and" across the poem helps us understand the clinical and somewhat psychotic mindset of the speaker. They're cold-hearted, and they believe there are many details they want to share in their story. Their dramatic monologue hinges on them sharing and another thing, and another thing. It's alarming and helps us understand that the lust is about power and control. The speaker is frankly talking about a murder. The repetition of the possessive pronoun mine as the poem unfolds, and ultimately the truth that this woman was strangled with her own hair so that this speaker could feel supreme in the moment of intimacy. Well, the speaker seems not only possessive through the pronouns, but the repetition amplifies the idea that he's delusional. It's chilling, it's scary, and it suggests that lust here is about control, controlling the site of the murder and controlling the story as he tells it. Daljit Nagra's sing-song presents a different spin to lust. They're phonetically sounding and awkwardly accented for me as I read this. After we have made love like we're rowing through Putney. It's an unusual simile, actually. It's commenting on their sex life, so he and his wife, and it proves that our speaker has a sense of humour, but also it suggests that it's comical, not predatory. It's not an evil thing that's happening between one unequal party to another. Instead, it seems like it's fun. And the phonetic sounding language makes it even more comical for the reader in its delivery. The second quote, though, for lust anyway, is the interesting interpretations that people can have around her seek lover's sight. So he's discussing at this point his wife's job, and the initial interpretation could be that his wife is involved with a dating website that leads to arranged marriages, and that's a cultural fusion of his homeland heritage and the speaker's awareness of the 21st century in the Western world that he lives in. I think Nagra seeks to prove in this poem that the speaker is happy in his relationship, and lust here is actually the healthy emotion to being in a really stable, joyful marriage, albeit with an unhappy job. But the interesting spin is perhaps the wife isn't involved in a dating website, and so maybe she's drawn to lust-driven websites herself. The fact that she works upstairs could be symbolic of that. The seek lover's sight. The sibilance has an echoing sound. We almost wonder if there's something sinister about it. No matter how we phrase it, if lust were the theme in the exam, the idea is it's physical desire, and it's about either equals or genuine power over another. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar